If you were to visit here and not know of its long history and connection to the Druids of lore, you would be forgiven for being mystified by what you would see. The carvings on the rock face, the coins and gifts that have been left at this ancient place. The offerings and atmosphere are unique, and all have a story to tell. We are about to step into our ancient, mysterious past, and stand in a landscape where it's believed human sacrifices were made, and where pagan worship was performed. This place is an ancient pre-Christian holy site. This place is Dunino Den. I've just arrived at the car park, and this path will take us towards Dunino Den. You'll pass a kirk on your left side and continue on down the hill. Now, this isn't my first visit to Dunino Den. I've been here several times, and the atmosphere of the place brings me back again and again. Some places on the landscape can create an atmosphere because you're aware that something of note happened there. Dunino Den is different. Even if you knew nothing of the lore surrounding this place, and you're the kind of person who's open-minded and sensitive to your surroundings, when you visit here, you'll be aware that this landscape holds within it the ability to transport you into another world, where it's said fairies, Rome and other forms of creatures from Celtic myth reside. A place where Druids would visit and perform rituals to their gods. When you pass the kirk, continue on down the hill, you will see a pool of water, which we will talk about more in a moment. If you look over the verge here, you will see Dunino Den. Have I personally ever seen a fairy while visiting here? Well, no, but it's easy to imagine and walk in this ancient landscape. There's an unmistakable supernatural atmosphere that resides in these woods. And although I'm a practical-minded man, this place will make you question what you thought was real and what isn't. There is an unmistakable aura to this place, a feeling of being transported back in time. The geology here only adds to the atmosphere, with the stream running through the wood and the gentle movement of water as it passes over rocks and fallen branches. It makes it a peaceful place to be and to contemplate what and who came before to this mysterious place. Before descending down this narrow gap into the woods below, you will come across this well. Now, this well is believed to have been used by the Druids for human sacrifice, as natural wonders in any landscape was revered by the Druids. After all, if you came across a pool of water that consistently refilled itself, you might imagine that some form of magic was the cause of such a miraculous event. This footprint that has been carved into the rock is of unknown origin. Perhaps the Druids themselves created this for some form of symbolic ritual. Perhaps to venerate the gods or to perform a sacrifice to the gods. You would put your foot in this space. Whatever its function, it only adds to the atmosphere of this mysterious place. As you descend down these steps into the woodland below, know that it was the Druids themselves who carved these steps thousands of years ago. and this well-worn path has been used by all manner of visitors to this site, both known and unknown. As you walk down here, you definitely feel like you're entering another world, one with a deep history and story to tell. On the rock walls are carved Celtic crosses, symbols of all kinds and faces. These symbols, which are both ancient and modern, adorn the rock all throughout this wooded area. Pagan pilgrims, people from all different walks of life, children even, leave offerings here of all kinds. Coins placed into the rock face, ribbons and chimes, cards of remembrance, messages to the pagan gods, and pleas of help from this ancient place. On my last visit here, I left chocolate hanging from a tree. I assume that the entities that roam this forest might enjoy chocolate as much as I do. At the very least, I hope that it showed my belief that something is here, and I wanted to show my respect to this pagan place of worship. Once again, I brought chocolate to hang on a low-lying branch to give veneration and to make it easier for the fairies to take back home with them. As you walk through this wood, be sure to look behind all the trees, in the branches, and in all the crevices within the rock face. You will be amazed what people have left in this place, and be sure to leave something of your own here when you visit. Perhaps your fortunes will improve as a result. It is speculated that the Druids appeared in Britain around 3000 BC. They flourished here and in Ireland and northern Gaul, which is now known as France. They had much influence over these regions and were respected by the inhabitants. Now, the Druids are often connected with structures like Stonehenge, but this isn't correct. These monuments were built by Neolithic communities around 5,000 to 6,000 years ago. Now, the influence of the Druids and their gods are still with us today, and their history is fascinating. I highly recommend you read about these people and what they believed before visiting here. It'll only add to the magic of this place. In this kirkyard there is further proof of this place's pagan past. This is known as the wishing stone, located along the southern wall of the kirk's outer wall. It's believed that the stone was placed here around the 9th century, which indicates that paganism was still going strong in Britain, and that Christianity did not convert everyone to the faith. The last time I was here, there were coins and coloured stones left on top of the stone. And as you can see, it's still being visited and offerings are still being made here on a regular basis. The idea of putting coins or some other offerings on this stone and then wishing for good fortune is nothing new. Indeed, this comes from our pagan past. We've all seen children standing at a well, a stream or riverbank and asking their parents for a coin to throw into the water. The act of giving an offering and in return being able to make a wish is ancient in origin. This has diverse meanings across different cultures and contexts. Wishes of good luck and prosperity isn't anything new. In ancient Rome, throwing money into water was believed to be an offering to the water god Neptune. This was done as thanks for clean water and to seek divine blessings. The Romans, you might believe, were always Christian, but Rome and the Romans believed in pagan gods, going back into antiquity, long before Christianity existed. The kirk behind me was built on top of a pre-existing pagan site. Now this isn't something new. In the 7th century, when Christianity was gathering a foothold in Great Britain, these newly converted pagan followers now followed their Christian god. But to make the transformation easier for the newly found flock, rather than destroy pagan sites, the church built onto these ancient pagan sites. This would appease these newly devout Christians and give respect to their beliefs that had come before. And in time, they believed paganism would be forgotten altogether. Now, pagan holidays and celebrations would be merged into the new faith and become Christian instead. But not all became Christian in Great Britain. And indeed today, we remember well that nearly all Christian holidays and celebrations are in fact pagan in origin. Paganism is still all around us today. It hasn't gone anywhere. And you need only look here at Dunino Den or Stonehenge, where pagan rituals are still celebrated every year. All over the world, paganism is still very much a part of life and has not been forgotten. The next time you see somebody throw a coin into a well, remember that act, whether they know or not, is from our pagan past, and I think it's a timeless connection to our ancient ancestors and beliefs. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and I'll catch you on the next one.